The federal government is standing by Treasury modelling that suggests the expansion of the home guarantee scheme would only have a modest impact on prices.
What it will do is enable the playing field to be more level. Instead of paying off someone else's mortgage, Maria is paying off her own.
The question is, did you really save or did you spend a little bit more on the property?
Still, his higher earning clients are lining up to join the scheme, some choosing to park extra savings for a rainy day instead.
Every magic trick has three parts. The pledge. The magician shows you something ordinary. A deck of cards, a bird in a cage, a man in a box. The turn. The magician takes the ordinary thing and does something extraordinary. He makes it disappear. He makes it fly. He saws the man in half. But the third act is the most important. It's the one that makes the whole trick work. It's called the prestige. It's the part where the magician brings it back. The bird reappears. The man is whole again. The card you picked is suddenly in your pocket. But here's the secret. The real secret to every great magic trick isn't the pledge, or the turn, or even the prestige. It's a misdirection. While you're watching the magician's right hand, the real work is happening in his left. While you're staring at the beautiful assistant, the bird is being slipped into a hidden compartment. He makes you look over here, so you don't see what's happening over there. For the past year, the big banks, the property gurus, and the mainstream media have been performing a grand magic trick on the Australian public. They've been directing all your attention to the premium housing market, the multi-million-dollar auctions in Sydney and Melbourne, the prestige properties, the record-breaking sales. They've made you look here. But while you've been watching their right hand, something extraordinary has been happening in their left. A different part of the market has been quietly, secretly preparing for its own prestige. And one of Australia's biggest banks, the Commonwealth Bank, has just broken the magician's code. They've released a forecast that reveals where the real trick has been happening. And they are warning that many Aussies are about to be caught completely off guard by it. What if I told you that everything you've been led to believe about the housing market is a carefully constructed illusion? That the real action, the real growth, the real opportunity isn't where everyone is looking? You'd probably think I was crazy, but it's not me saying it. It's the Commonwealth Bank, and they've got the data to prove it. This isn't just another forecast. This is a fundamental shift in the very structure of the Australian property market, a shift that will create a new wave of winners and losers. And most people are standing on the wrong side of the line, completely oblivious because they've been watching the wrong hand. Before we reveal the details of this surprising forecast, a quick but crucial message. This channel exists to expose the tricks, to break the illusions. We are not part of the mainstream magic show. We are funded by our patrons, a community of critical thinkers who refuse to be fooled. They are the reason we can bring you this kind of analysis. If you want to join us, if you want to help us pull back the curtain, the link to our Patreon is in the description. We are the resistance, and we need you. All right, let's get into it. The great misdirection. While the media has been obsessed with whether Sydney's median house price will hit $2 million, the real story has been happening in a completely different postcode. The magic trick has been simple but effective. Every weekend, the news is filled with stories of record-breaking auctions in Toorak or Bellevue Hill or Point Piper. The narrative is all about prestige property, the top end of town. This creates the illusion that the market is all about expensive houses in wealthy suburbs. It's a story of glamour, of aspiration, of wealth, but it's a distraction. The data from CBA and Ray White tells a completely different story. The real engine room of the current market isn't at the top end, it's at the bottom. It's the affordable end of the market that is quietly but decisively outperforming everything else, and the gap is widening. Here's the hard data. In October, lower-cost homes grew by 1.2%. Homes in the more expensive brackets, they grew by just 1.0%. That 0.2% difference might not sound like much, but as CBA points out, that level of outperformance is in the top 16% of differences recorded since 2009. This isn't a blip. It's a major statistically significant trend. The affordable end is pulling away from the rest of the market, and this is the forecast that will catch so many people off guard. This trend is set to accelerate. The timing is critical. This outperformance coincided exactly with the expansion of the government's 5% deposit scheme on October 1st. The scheme removed income caps, removed buyer limits, and jacked up the property price caps.
The government is opening the 5% deposit scheme up to all first home buyers from today, as well as removing income price caps and bringing property price caps in line with average house prices.
It created an unlimited funnel of government-backed buyers, all targeting properties under $1 million. And the market responded immediately. The affordable segment didn't just grow, it outgrew the premium segment by a margin we haven't seen in over a decade and a half. For decades, the golden rule of Australian property has been land appreciates, buildings depreciate. It's been drilled into us that houses will always outperform apartments, that apartments are for renters or for people who can't afford a real home. But the game has changed, and the big banks are finally admitting it. The forecast from CBA and Ray White is that well-located, affordable apartments are set to become the market leaders. We're talking about apartments 15 to 45 minutes from major CBDs and employment hubs. These are the properties that are poised for the biggest gains over the next 12 to 24 months. Why? Because a perfect storm of factors is funneling an unprecedented amount of demand directly into this specific market segment. It's a classic case of supply and demand, but on a scale we've never seen before. First, you have the affordability crisis. With house prices now completely out of reach for most people, apartments are no longer a choice. They are, as Ray White's data analyst Adam Go-Chen puts it, the only pathway to ownership in desirable postcodes. This is a massive cultural shift. For the first time in Australian history, the majority of young people entering the market are not buying a house with a backyard. They are buying an apartment, and they're doing it by choice, not by default. Second, you have a massive demographic shift. Younger generations and new migrants are prioritising location, convenience and lifestyle over a big backyard. They want to be close to work, to cafes, to transport. They are choosing postcodes over block size. This isn't a temporary trend. This is a generational change in what Australians value in a home. And third, you have the government's own policies. The expanded 5% deposit scheme and various stamp duty exemptions are almost exclusively targeted at the sub-$1 million price point. This is creating a massive government-subsidised funnel of demand, all pouring into the affordable apartment market. The government isn't just allowing this shift, they are accelerating it with billions of dollars in subsidies. This isn't just a theory, it's already happening. Look at the data from Ray White. In Perth, a city where affordability is still a major driver, apartment prices in some suburbs are exploding. The Beckenham-Kenwick-Langford area in Perth's southeast has seen apartment prices surge by 18.8% in the last 12 months. The Midland-Guildford area is up 18.6%. This isn't the 1% or 2% growth we're seeing in premium suburbs. This is explosive catch-up growth. Ray White's analyst calls it exactly that. Catch-up growth after years of subdued activity during the mining downturn. In Queensland, areas like Deception Bay and Yeronga are seeing apartment growth of over 12% annually. In Adelaide, it's a story of consistent, broad-based growth between 9% and 11.7% in key apartment precincts. Adelaide is being described as having a Goldilocks pattern, affordable compared to Sydney and Melbourne, but still offering strong growth, making it attractive for interstate buyers. Even in the more expensive markets of Sydney and Melbourne, the value is in the affordable apartment sector. In Sydney, the standout is Parramatta North, with a geometric mean price of just $640,000 and annual growth of 3.9%. In Melbourne, it's Footscray at $470,000 and North Melbourne at $520,000. These are not fringe suburbs. These are well-connected, transit-oriented precincts that are seeing massive development and demand. And speaking of investors, they've figured this out too. CBA's own data shows that investor lending surged by a massive 17.6% in the third quarter of 2025. Total new housing lending rose by 9.6%, more than double the forecast of 2.6%. But here's the kicker. Where are investors targeting? Not the multi-million-dollar houses. In New South Wales and Victoria, investor loan sizes are growing more slowly than owner-occupiers, which, as CBA notes, suggests they are targeting more affordable homes. They see the high rental yields and the potential for capital growth in the apartment market, and they are getting in early, anticipating further price rises. There's another part of this story that most people are missing. It's not just about apartments outperforming houses, it's about a fundamental shift in how Australia is building its cities. For every house approved in the ACT, 2.8 units are approved. That's nearly double the ratio in New South Wales, which sits at 1.2 units per house. Canberra has embraced higher density housing more aggressively than any other market in the country. This is a preview of what's coming to the rest of Australia. Governments are finally realising that the suburban sprawl model is broken. We can't keep building outwards. We have to build upwards, and that means apartments, lots of them. In Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane and beyond, the future of housing is density. And the people who recognise this early, who buy well-located apartments now, are the ones who will benefit from the coming boom. Ray White's data shows that New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland accounted for 86% of all new apartment developments in the past year. New South Wales led with 26,385 new units, followed by Victoria with 23,484 and Queensland with 13,384. This is where the supply is being built. This is where the demand is being met, and this is where the growth will be. This is the prestige of the magic trick. While everyone has been watching the expensive houses, the real action has been in the affordable apartments. This is the part of the market that is set to boom, and it's going to catch so many people by surprise. People who have been waiting for a market-wide crash will be left behind as the affordable segment takes off. People who have been saving for a house in a desirable suburb will find themselves priced out forever, not realising the apartment next door was the better investment. People who dismissed apartments as poor investments will watch in disbelief as their friends who bought in Parramatta or Footscray or Beckenham see double-digit capital growth while their dream house in the outer suburbs stagnates. CBA's forecast for 2026 is for capital city house prices to grow by 6% and units by 5%. But that's the average. The real story is in the details. The affordable, well-located apartments are the ones that will outperform. They are the ones that will deliver the double-digit growth. They are the ones that will create the next generation of property wealth. This isn't a guess. It's a data-driven forecast from one of the biggest banks in the country. CBA's senior economist Ashwin Clark said it plainly. This is a clear sign that financial conditions may not be as tight as we thought. Translation. The affordable end is heating up faster than anyone expected. The investor money is flooding in. The first home buyers are competing and the prices are rising. They see the demographic shifts. They see the impact of government policy. They see the investor money pouring in, and they are warning you, stop watching the right hand. The real magic is happening in the left. Don't be the one caught off guard. Don't be the one left wondering how you missed it. The information is out there if you know where to look, and that's what we do here. We look where others don't. We expose the misdirection. We break down the data that the mainstream media ignores. If you believe in that mission, if you want access to the uncensored, unfiltered truth, please join our Patreon. Help us keep fighting. Help us keep exposing the tricks. The link is in the description. Stay ahead of the game, stay informed, and don't believe the hype. To see the latest Australian crisis, click this video here.